Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope you all had a good weekend. It's a Sunday club on a Monday night again because I was at Twickenham last night, which meant I wasn't back in time to do it. So watched England versus Argentina. Very different. Very, very different the rugby is. I'm a rugby fan, but I'm an England fan first and foremost. England-Argentina just wasn't quite the same spice. User... and then whatever your name is after. Hello, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Andrew Joyce, welcome. I'm going to start off again with a big shout out to my channel members. I had quite a few subscribers this week as well. But the channel members are in the squad. There are different levels. Of course, there's Tom Briscoe, Brian Turner, Gate 102 Podcast, Robert Beveridge, Felix, Charlie Kelly, Josh Philp, and Kurt Barlow. All absolute legends. Without further delay, though, let's get on to what we really want to be talking about. And this is going to be the live stream until the World Cup draw, which is, of course, on Friday. Not this Friday coming, the following Friday, so a week on Friday. Excuse me. Friday the 5th is the World Cup draw, and I will be doing a live stream. So if you're new here, you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button because I'll be doing a live reaction to the World Cup draw. This Sunday Club will be happening. I'm here Sunday, touch wood. I don't think anything else is changing. But the Sunday Club today and this Sundays are literally going to be on the World Cup draw because that's what the talk of the town is going to be for the next week. That is all we're all going to be talking about. And we can start to preview slightly who may be in England's group, who we may want in England's group as well. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's that complicated as well, so it's not going to be straightforward. It depends where we draw another European team, etc., etc. But we can have a look. Of course, tonight as well, I have Guess the Player game. For those that have been joining past couple of weeks, seems to have been relatively successful, so I thought I would carry that on. Tonight, though, I'm going to say this. I don't think anyone will get tonight's player. So, stick around. I've been a bit mean. I have been a bit mean. Because the actual photo, even when it's up, you might think, who is it? But I've been a bit... Not because he's not a popular player, but yeah, you'll see. I'll be surprised if anyone guess the player tonight. I can see the chat filling up, so I will come and have a look back on that. At the minute, I'll just say... Evening, Charlie. Evening, Matt. Andrew, user. All welcome. I'm going to get the group pots up straight away. So this is what we have. Now, you're going to have to forgive me, and I'm going to be sort of looking off to the side because that, for me, is incredibly tiny, what I've just put on your screen, because I've only got a small window. So I'm going to load it up in front of me. So England, pot one, pot 2, and pot 3 are concluded. They are completely concluded, so we can start to judge those. Pot 4, that's where those other playoff pots are going to be. Excuse me. So there's 4 left to fill from UEFA and another 2 international playoffs to fill there. Let's go through pot 1. Pot 1 is, of course, the 3 hosts. US, Mexico, Canada, and then you've got Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Now, I think it is basically judged on how you've qualified and where your FIFA rankings are. So we're going to pot 1. We're going to pot 1. Obviously, there's a lot of teams there that automatically we are avoiding. And the way this tournament's going to be, unless you've been living in a cave, you will know... that this is a 48-team World Cup, which means there is a potential that if you finish at the top 3, you could still qualify for the knockout rounds. So let's not over worry about this group, whatever it may be, a week on Friday. Let's have a look at pot 2 though. Croatia, Morocco, straight off the bat, 2 very difficult teams. Colombia, Uruguay, not as challenging as Croatia and Morocco for me. Switzerland, Japan, many people's dark horses. My latest videos had a quite mixed reception, but not a dark horse for me. Senegal, I think a very strong team. They showed what England they showed us what they're all about when they came to England not too long ago. Iran, I'll be honest with you, as it gets lower, I think this pot two gets easier. Iran, Korea, Austria, Ecuador, and Australia. Ideally, if you want in the easier group, I think it's one of those bottom five, isn't it? I don't think, in terms of an easier route, you don't want Japan, Switzerland, Uruguay, Colombia, Morocco, or Croatia. You want that bottom five, ideally. Pot three is then Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, which for some reason is abbreviated the same as Argentina on this chart, Paraguay, Tunisia, Scotland, Ivory Coast, Qatar, Uzbekistan, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. This is really testing, one, my abbreviation skills, and two, my flag skills as well. And then pot four is Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, and New Zealand. As you'd expect, the pots get easier. Pot four, though, is going to be a bit of a banana skin, isn't it? Because there's going to be 4 UEFA teams in there. And we'll come on to that in a second. Let me just very quickly go to the chat because I can see the chat filling up. And as you guys know, I like to go to the chat. This is what it's all about. So, Matt's attack. An ideal draw would be an okay pot 2 and a challenging pot 3 team and an easy pot 4. What are the pots looking like? Do we know teams in pots 2 and 3? And 4? Yeah, sorry, you might have obviously. I don't know when. I'm just reading these after, so that obviously this is coming out after. We European group. Very poor performance against Albania. Pardew made a great point that the midfield was too congested because O'Reilly, Stones, Bellingham, Wharton were all stepping on each other's toes. I mean, it wasn't a great end, but at the end of the day, it was 8 points. It was 8 victories in a row, wasn't it? So, can't complain, but Greengrass, there's definitely some work there. But it was a dead rubber as well, wasn't it? I shared your list video to a social media group, 11 people, and it raised eyebrows. So I'm glad it did. And genuinely, I wasn't doing it for clicks, views. End of the day, this is a 48-team World Cup. And I think anybody is bullshitting if you live in Europe, and unless you've got some sort of special interest in terms of you're from that country. But the vast majority of people, and this is why World Cups are so good, the vast majority of us haven't been around sat watching Algeria, Japan, and over the past 3 years or 2 years, have we? Because we just haven't. I know people going on about Japan getting good results in friendlies. It does not matter at all. I have given my prediction, and I'm happy with what I've given, and I gave my reasons why. The problem is, with so many teams, you're going to get people who disagree with it. When did that pitch come out? I found it, mate. Captain Falcon, higher, mate. I'd like England versus South Africa. That would be. Can you make it bigger? I can do. I'll tell you what. Let me chop off the bottom bit. In fact, shall I chop off the chat? Because you guys can access chat elsewhere, can't you? So let me just very briefly put it like that. That might help you all. Let me know if you want me to take it off. Have you heard Italy could be in pot 2 if FIFA changes the rules? This is the problem. Who knows what's going to happen? And I think there's that many then asterisks in between each one, depending on when you join another European team, who group winners are. It's a right mess. So I ain't going to sit here and worry massively about actually is it realistic that we're going to draw them or not. I think all we can 100% agree on is that we ain't going to join anyone else from pot 1 because we're in pot 1. And then after that, let's just take pot 2, 3, and 4 at face value and see where we're going. Where did I go? I don't know, mate. I genuinely can't remember. It was somewhere online. I think there's a badge at the bottom. Have you worried that Tuchel keeps allowing Kane to drop in midfield? Well, he's our best passer, mate, so it doesn't bother me. Colombia have managed to beat Argentina. I don't think it's going to happen, but imagine we saw one of the England, Argentina, Spain, France, Netherlands, Portugal get eliminated in the round of 32. I want Switzerland and Algeria or Saudi Arabia. I don't care about pot 4. Ouch, Norway, pot 3. Yeah, it could be a proper banana skin. So, first and foremost, the thing I've put on the chat and at the bottom here is, could we get a group of death? The answer is, of course we could. Of course we could. Looking at this, we won't get a group of death in terms of Croatia, Norway, because then all of a sudden we're playing too many European teams. Morocco, many people are saying, would be one of the strongest teams or the strongest team from their area of the world. I think that would be a very difficult group. I'd like to avoid them. I'd like to avoid Senegal because they absolutely embarrassed us at the City Ground, honestly. I mean, I know England will step up and play better, but we were that poor and they were that good. I do worry about drawing them. I think I said at the start, I'd have any from Iran downwards, even Austria. Excuse me. I think they're the most challenging teams. I mean, again, I don't know how it all works out, but we could draw Croatia. That would then lead us open to having other teams in pots 3 and 4. So arguably, if we draw a European team in pot 2, it may mean we end up avoiding some of the tougher teams, because I think the toughest teams in pot 3 and 4 will be those European nations. So arguably, if we draw a European nation in pot 2, we're on then to get a much easier whole qualification group, or World Cup group, sorry. Helena Longo 2665. Hey mate, welcome. Give us your thoughts. Everybody's welcome. Where do the Netherlands sit in this? I mean, obviously they're in pot 1, but who do you want to avoid? What do we think would be probably the toughest group that could possibly happen here? Norway is a team that worries me. Holland is undefendable. I think Stones needs to be replaced. Left back is the problem. Love to see Lewis Miley. He would help his winger a lot in inverted fullbacks. I think the problem is I would like to. I mean, look, a little bit is let's bring in. I'm not bothered who we draw. Excuse me. Realistically, right? Look at all those teams now. I'm asking everybody to look at all those teams in pot 2, 3, and 4. And I ain't going to sit here and say, obviously, they can't beat England. But I would be confident England would be favourites against, quite substantially as well. I would be confident England can beat any team in pot 2, 3, and 4. So I think that's where we need to start off at. Because we need to be confident. Yes, we could have a group of death, but no matter what happens, I can't see a group where England would not be heavily favourites to qualify out of that group. And I think that's where my starting point is. I also feel like it's a World Cup, bring it on. Tuchel ain't had naff all to challenge him. I'd take a group of death with that third place potential to go through as well. Bring it on. Bring it on. We've been dead lucky in draws. We've got to admit that over the recent years. So, maybe it may, I mean, looking at that, would like Uruguay or Colombia or Morocco, one of those three, then Norway in pot 3, then, then we wouldn't get the other. I mean, we're always going to end up, we can only draw one other, I'm pretty certain on this, we can only draw one other European nation. And then I'm looking at the other pots in terms of if we drew one European nation from pot 2 or 3. I can't see a group. Honestly, everyone, I can't see. Maybe someone like is Senegal. No, Norway's the toughest team in pot 3, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the group of death is us drawing. They're in pot 1, Charlie. Us drawing Norway in pot 3 is by far the toughest draw in pot 3. So I'm looking in pot 2, and then I'm thinking, right, because if we're going to draw up Norway in pot 3, we can't then draw a European team in pot 2. Well, we could have done. I mean, ultimately, we would not have to have drawn a European team in pot 2 for us to be able to draw up Norway in pot 3, if that makes sense. But what I'm saying to you is we'll have got a different team, another team that isn't a European team in pot 2 if we draw Norway in pot 3. So I'm looking at pot 2 and thinking, who's the most difficult nation there in pot 2? I mean, yeah, we could end up with Senegal, Norway, and then whoever you want at a pot 4 in terms of the non-European nations. I mean, a New Zealand or I can't see the graphic. Wait, or a Ghana. Looking at that team in pot form, at the Ghana or Jordan or someone like that, that would be a tough group. That would be a really, really tough group. Evening, Ricky. Hope you're all right, mate. Can someone explain why Norway in pot 3 didn't they qualify? It's to do with FIFA rankings, mate, and all sorts. It's really overly complicated. Like, I don't think anyone still even has a clue where Italy would be in this if they were to qualify, really. So it's all a bit of a mess, to be honest with you. And the way football's going, you need a fucking degree just to be able to figure out who we're going to be able to draw. Which is why I'm not going to over-worry about the asterisks and no, we can't draw them if we draw them. I think we're just looking solely at if apart from the fact that we know we can't draw all European teams and we can only draw one European team, I think other than that, at the minute, I'm just looking at this and thinking, right, what would be a sweet draw and what would be the hardest draw? I think definitely Senegal in pot 2, Norway in pot 3, and then a Ghana, Jordan, or New Zealand in pot 4 would be a tough group. That would be a tough group. Easier, Australia, Iran. Are they probably the easiest team in pot 2? And then maybe looking at that pot 3, maybe a Panama, Saudi Arabia, Uzbekistan, Qatar, any one of those, I think, in a pot 3, and then a pot 4 would end up having to have a European. I think it is stuck on, isn't it, that we will get another European nation in our group. I'm pretty sure that's certain. And then you've got to say that you would want that pot 4 I mean, Scotland. Would Scotland be an easy draw for England? I don't think it would. Genuinely, I'm not saying I'm scared of Scotland, but historically, England haven't turned up against Scotland in tournaments. Or they have, but we've made hard work on it. England, Senegal, Norway, New Zealand would be a problem draw, says Andrew. England, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand in one group in the Rugby Cricket World Cup. I'm Moroccan. Evening, mate. If we win AFCON next month, we can be top 5 in FIFA ranking. Imagine England 4th and Morocco 5th with Norway and Jordan. The problem is, I hear you, right? I find it really difficult when you get teams like Morocco and the US and Mexico and Canada all within that top 20 or whatever. This is where FIFA rankings for me don't mean anything, because let's be real, the teams that Morocco and the US and Canada, they're just not the same. They're just not the same quality of teams. There's a lot of, let's be honest, 60% of these teams, if qualifying from Europe, wouldn't be here. Another team would be in the place. I think let's lay that down now. But Morocco, everyone's saying Morocco, they've got to be judged. They haven't been seen really, I would say, against anyone half decent in a competitive match. Friendly results don't mean anything. Nothing at all, which is why I'm discounting Japan. I'm not saying I'm discounting them in terms of a team. They're a good team, but I'm not getting carried away with Japan just because they've had a couple of good friendly results against Germany and whatever. Don't bother me at all. Here in the Netherlands, no one expects anything from our national team. We are not good. I guess we are not even in the top 20. Why, mate? The Netherlands could be... I've struggled in my video whether I put Netherlands as a dark horse or not. I think Netherlands got a good squad, mate. You could do very well. Morocco could do very well, by the way, mate. I think, they could be... I've put them as my dark horse. If you check my latest video out, I have put them as a dark horse because you still can't deny a team that's winning 8 games from 8 in the qualification campaign. I don't think Tuchel is any better than Southgate tactically. We just press teams now, says Greengrass. Well, the jury's still out, mate. I mean, from a trophy cabinet perspective, he is, isn't he? But let's see. I'd like to see us get already qualified team out of pot 4. I hate having to wait until March to find out who we are playing. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I would like not to get a playoff team. It is a bit of a ball ache. I agree with you there. I just want the group decided. We can't draw Scotland. Oh, yeah, because they won their group and UEFA want group winners to be segregated. See, this is what I mean, everyone. It is just, honestly, it's ridiculous how overly complicated the drawing system is. I don't know why they don't just all go in based on the FIFA rankings and then you just get what you get. The biggest disappointment will be Portugal. Reason, Cristiano Ronaldo himself says it's not dream to win his World Cup. It's not dream to win his World Cup. And it's got, sorry, I've been late goals lately. I got Spain winning the World Cup personally. They drew to Poland twice. Norway are a dark horse. I could see them winning the World Cup. I can't see them winning it, but they're certainly a dark horse. They are certainly a dark horse. I noticed the time. Usually I say I will put this mystery player on. Let me just see if it squeezes on. I might end up like in the middle between 2 pictures here. Let me squeeze it on. There we go, guys. So there's your player this evening. I'll leave it on for 10 minutes or so. Get your guesses in. I think this is harder this week. Some of you may get it. I think this is harder. Norway are dark horses. Could see. Sorry, have you heard UEFA want the Euros to expand from 20? Yeah, I have, mate. I think I've also heard that the World Cup is. They want some confederations want the World Cup expanded again. Honestly, it'd be outrageous. The Netherlands will do well. Arthur. Legend, mate. I only put it on as a goal. It was something that YouTube recommended, but honestly, massively appreciated, mate. Let me give that. Can I give that a heart? Yes, legend. Arthur, thank you so much. I might do another live stream this week now because of that. Thank you so much. The Netherlands will well like they did in the Euros in 2022. They almost made the semi-finals and would have beaten Croatia in the semis. I think Netherlands will do. I think Netherlands are in with a shout, mate. 100%. They're the best team never to win a World Cup. Put it. I don't know if our friend from the Netherlands is still in the chat. The Netherlands are the best football nation in the world never to win the World Cup for me. Just so everyone is aware, last year I did do a quiz, like an end of year quiz. Now I have been mulling about how I do that this year because the channel's bigger than what it was last year. I mean, look, I'm on to 17 people watching now, and I've had some times where it's 20 or 30 people. And I know the quiz was popular last year, so I have to think of a way that I can do the quiz in a way that also doesn't, one, crash my system and whatever, but then also is manageable from a resource perspective. So I can use certain apps and websites, but give me a limited number of slots I can do, unless I'm going to pay a package like I'm a school or some crap like that. I can look at different ways. But anyway, long and short of it, it's in a quiz, but it will be for a channel members only. So channel members, I think there's 8 of them so far, so it's quite a good group. I'll probably do it either just before Christmas or between Christmas and New Year, somewhere like that. But I'll have a think about it and drop it. But there will be an end of year quiz. But at the minute, I am looking to do it only as a channel member quiz, just to give my channel members that perk for supporting me throughout the year. Obviously, for everyone else, still plenty of content. I'll be streaming over Christmas. We've got this World Cup draw. We've got loads of amazing stuff planned. Well, I've got loads. It's just me. I've got loads of amazing stuff planned once the draw's made. But yeah, I just need to share that in this because I know there's a couple of channel members in the chat. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. And thank you, Arthur, for your super chat. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I will. I'll stream on Thursday. Now I've got that super chat, so thank you so much. I personally think the UEFA Nations League should be scrapped. Instead, we have a knockout tournament for Europe. The thing is, right, is at least the UEFA Nations League is another trophy. I'm hearing this. It's like everyone's saying that the qualification system in Europe needs to be changed, but it's just like, how? I know, like in South America and stuff like that, it's like so much better. But there's just too many teams. I don't understand how you could make it better unless you have like a pre-qualification thing, and then I don't know. It's just really difficult to understand how they would do it. It really is. Curacao will be a walkover. I tell you what, if anyone, I said this in my last video. Check it out, by the way. It has got a load of views, but also a load of comments. But if you haven't had a look, check out my latest video. I have said in that though, if Curacao, Cape Verde, if they're going to beat anyone at this World Cup, it's going to be Scotland. If they draw Scotland, I will be sitting down with a beer, with a Cape Verde and a Curacao shirt on, and whoever Scotland get in, like the worst team they get from a FIFA rankings perspective, I'll be sat there cheering them on. AirPod keeps electrocuting my ear. Oh, check it out, Ricky. Put me on loudspeaker, mate. Just check it out. So anyway, I mean, going back to the World Cup draw. By the way, not many. I've seen a couple of guesses for the players on the screen. Not so many. Is it harder this week? It is. I think it is a bit harder. My nan's bingo team would beat Scotland. Let's see. Have Portugal versus Ireland in the first round. If Portugal lose, they get eliminated. I think going back to the World Cup draw then, I mean, are we in agreement? I've sort of picked it myself, but is like a Senegal or Morocco, then a Norway. So is Senegal or Morocco in pot 2 probably the hardest, then Norway in pot 3, and then, I don't know, like a Ghana or a Jordan in pot 4, probably the most challenging. Which one, Charlie? Thanks, appreciate it, mate. That one, no problem. I don't. Is there another one? Let me scroll up. Have you heard? Yeah, I did see that one. I'd like to get an already qualified. I think I've seen them all. Let me know if I've missed another one. I think that's the hardest group. The easiest, I think, is probably Australia. Well, any of that bottom. Well, Australia, Korea, or Iran would be my easiest out of pot 2, followed by like a Qatar, Uzbekistan, South Africa in pot 3, and then any one of those teams in pot 4 I think I'd take. Hopefully we get Peter, Andre and Jordan together. I think that ship sails. Do you think we should keep hold of Harvey Barnes? Go, wait, I don't want this. The thing is, right, is he going to get an England game? Australia aren't in. Oh, right, in pot 2, sorry. I think, again, it must be the rankings or the way they've qualified. I don't know. I've given up trying to figure fucking FIFA and the ranking system out, to be honest with you. Wharton is our player who can unlock world-class defences. It is like Scholes, who will be on the bench. Anderson passing ranges are too limited to players number 6. And well, he didn't wrap himself in glory, did he? In the game he did get a chance in, old Wharton. Everyone was crying out for him, and it was absolute shambles in that final game against Albania. I mean, he was. I mean, so was other players, by the way. There was quite a few players who were an absolute disgrace. But, yeah, he didn't do himself any favours at all. Let me... I know the chat's there. What do I do with this? I tell you what, let me take the pots off. Shall I take the pots off for now? We've seen them. We've seen them for a while. We'll come back to them. Let's get some guesses in because it's coming up to 8 o'clock. Usually I'll leave this on for like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. So I put it on about 10 minutes ago. Can I have your final answers, please, for the player on the screen? Who do we think it is? How well do we know our England player? Honestly, this is an hard one. Ricky, I was waiting for yours. So we've got Palmer, we've got Maddison, we've got Heskey. It's not Heskey, I'll tell you that for a fact. Couple for Bowen. Interesting. We've got 20 people on, so we'll wait for a couple more to come through. Bellingham, it's not Bellingham. Definitely not Bellingham. Saka's a great player, but in big games he gets bullied. Saka's one of our best. He's our best player, mate, after Kane. He's class. It's definitely not Bellingham. I hope these aren't genuine guesses, some of these. I'm assuming they're not. Cole Palmer. So a couple for Cole Palmer, couple for Bowen. It's definitely a harder one. Definitely a harder one. Right, I'll give it 30 seconds and then I'm going to reveal the answer. Where is the answer? Right, 10, 9, Gallagher, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Someone has got the right answer. In fact, 2 people have. I remember got it right. Right. What a legend. And PJQ Steele, who I don't know we've had on the chat before. So welcome, PJQ Steele. You've got ball, mate. You've got knowledge because it is indeed Jared Bowen. I thought that was a tough one this week. Really, really tough one. So really well done for those that got that. Greengrass, Wharton was crap against Albania because Stones kept pushing him ahead of the ball. Stones was essentially playing as a number 6, which was stupid by Tuchel. He tried to fit him in, didn't he? Yeah, honestly, Tom Briscoe. Amazing. I've no idea, Charlie, mate. All the other ones are coming through. I don't know what it is you're trying to put. You're trying to put something offensive that YouTube's blocking. I've barely got any. I literally don't know how to moderate this or anything. So I'm literally doing nothing. So whatever you're putting on, mate, I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully it comes through. One day it will be Heskey and I will get it wrong. I will get it wrong. Yeah, I know, mate. One day it will be. You're putting me off using him, though. You are putting me off using him. There's a couple of times where I think, do I chuck him in? But you'd make it too easy, mate. You keep him up first and foremost. No, it was a good one. It was a really good one. Let me get rid of Bowen, though. And let's get this... let me get the pots back up. And I can shove them then that side. And I can get rid of the timestamp in the top. And we can have everything all on one screen. There we go. Right. There we go. So I need to slide now to the side. There we go. I'm really glad we're avoiding every single team in that part one, though, including the hosts. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I don't like drawing the hosts. I think it's too much noise, even if they're shit. I know some of you, I don't agree with this, but I know some of you in the chat will think, honestly, USA, Mexico, and Canada are a bag of shite. I know some England fans will believe that and fancy us against them. And don't get me wrong, I would fancy England to beat any one of those teams. But I just think hosts are always complicated. It overcomplicates the whole thing. I'm not a big fan of playing the first game on the first day neither. So I am glad that because of the potting system and stuff like that we will avoid that. I think it does mean, though, in terms of where we're likely to play, and again, I could be wrong here, but I think it pretty makes... I mean, it was going to be pretty odds on anyway, given the number of grounds they've got, but it makes it almost... I think it is almost certain that we will be playing all our games in the US. Again, I could be wrong, but obviously with Mexico and Canada, they will play their games in their own country, and obviously because they're only stadiums each, two or one or two stadiums each to the games. It's pretty, unless you're in Mexico's or Canada's group, you're not likely to be playing there. Again, I could be wrong. There might be another group that's out there. But I think overwhelmingly, we're overwhelmingly likely to be playing our games in the US. Which, I don't know, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, most teams will be, given the fact that they... A bit like Euro 2028, won't it? You're going to be playing in England, aren't you? Unless you're in Wales or Scotland's group, or Ireland's. But... In fact, no, Northern Ireland haven't got it, have they? Looking back at... I just want to point out, and I just want to discuss... Where is it? Right. So, Colombia, Ecuador, and Uruguay. How good are those three teams? Because after Europe, obviously they're from by far, the next strongest confederation. They've all more or less finished on the same points from a qualification perspective. Taking points off each other. Argentina topped it. I genuinely don't know how good any of those teams are. I don't know how good South American football is at the minute, what sort of condition it's in. I know the defending champions are Argentina. They've got a great squad. Brazil have got a great squad. But how big is the drop-off? And I know Brazil lost 6 games. Brazil lost 6 games in their qualification campaign. Hence why Gattuso's comments about bloody it being harder in Europe and stuff like that. I get it. I do get what he's coming from, but at the same time, you just feel like, come on, mate, just get over it. But how good are those teams? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Tom. They could all cause an upset, couldn't they? But I agree. I fancy us against any of them. But it's just so difficult, isn't it? Because we don't watch their football. We don't watch their qualification campaign. Most people will know English football because of the Premier League, and everyone's, let's be honest, a bit obsessed with England and English football. But it's difficult, isn't it? And anyone who's coming on the chat saying you don't know anything about this, anything about that, it's like, who are they playing? And this is, I go back to Morocco again and Japan and whoever. If a team's finishing with 8 wins out of 8 in Asia, what does it actually mean? Do you know what I mean? Because is it a huge thing? I mean, the last time England played the African Cup of Nations champions, that was Senegal in the World Cup knockout round, and we hammered them 3-0. And it's just like these teams and their fans, they do get carried away like we do, obviously. We all do. My perception is that all these confederations outside of Europe are significantly weaker. That's my belief. So I always start off with the fact that these teams are, particularly from their own fans, in this talk about Morocco and Japan and whoever, Algeria, whatever. I always think I start off with the mindset that they're not as good as what their own fans think. They're certainly not as good as what the FIFA rankings think. I mean, the FIFA rankings are a joke. They always have been. Is the gap in World Cups getting bigger or smaller? I think over recent years you would put an argument that it's getting smaller, but I don't know. I mean, looking at that pot one, and given the fact of how many teams can qualify out of the group stages, are we going to see any upsets in terms of teams going out? I don't mean in terms of results. We always get, upset results. But are we really going to see any team knock any big team out? Yeah, okay, MK. Someone on one of your videos, Gary, said Colombia are a dark horse, but looking through their squad, they're bang average. Yeah, exactly what I mean, mate. It's exactly what I mean. And it's like they're all taking points off each other. They all can't be amazing. You know what I mean? They all can't be at Argentina's level or whatever. So are they all as bad as each other? It is a real tough one. I was amazed if don't win it. Great players, great coach. Their only weakness is their number 9. Who won't win it, Greengrass? Are you talking about... I don't know what you're talking about. You missed the team off. Haven't we got friendlies being organised against Uruguay in March? Yeah, it's supposed to be Uruguay and... Is it Japan or Korea? One of the two. Well, obviously it depends if we draw them. If we draw them in the group, that's why they're waiting. If we draw them in the groups, then we won't be having a friendly against them, will we? I was talking about... Okay, yeah, sorry. Nobsbider. Sorry, mate, I butchered that. Imagine England, Colombia, Norway, and something like Albania or Sweden. Well, Sweden could get through, couldn't they? Through the playoffs, which would be absolutely joke. I mean, I'd take Sweden. Bloody hell. I'd take Sweden and Albania. Ecuador had 3 points deduction for fielding an ineligible play in the qualifying for the last World Cup. They could be dangerous. Do you mean for cheating? I tried to ask myself if in UEFA they would qualify. Would Morocco top a European qualification campaign in a European group? Bearing in mind you're going to get at least another half-decent team in there. I'm not sure they would. Would Colombia? I'm not sure they would. Would Uruguay? I'm not sure they would. Would Japan? No. Senegal? Maybe. Iran? No chance. Korea? No chance. Ecuador? Can't see it. And Australia? No chance. So it's a difficult one. My thinking of us getting to the final is even because it might depend because of our possible road to the final. Bigger outside of Europe, there's only Brazil or Argentina who could win it. That's why the Euros is harder to win than the World Cup. I agree with that. I believe the Euros is a better tournament as well. Gary, after the stream, I shared you a video, mate. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. Ecuador fielded an illegal player. I can't stand South American football. Honestly, they'd rob their own nan to win a World Cup and to win a football match. And I just want to, we're obviously going to end up playing some South American team. I just want to play him, get it out of the way, and let's move on. Because, honestly, they're horrendous. They're absolutely horrendous. Every single time we've played a South American team, they're just cheating beyond words. Japan could go on a deep run. Well, they could, but again, how good are they? Really? I mean, so what if they've beat Germany in a friendly? Who cares? Yeah, sorry, Charlie. I don't know what that's all about, mate. Oh, sorry, Matt. It's probably my internet, mate. Does it keep stop and starting? I noticed that the other day, actually. Let me open this door. Tell me if it keeps going, and then I'll not stay on for the full hour if it is, because obviously it's nothing worse than it keep chopping in and out, is there? It's really funny because it's saying, mate, I've got excellent connection, but let me know if it keeps going off. Okay, keep me notified and let me know. Has it been going on all night? Let me see if I've got this connected properly. Japan's aim should be quarterfinals, but winning a knockout game would be an okay finish for them. I think the thing is given the size of the tournament now, one team could end up with quite a good run and could end up in a quarterfinal where usually they wouldn't see themselves in a quarterfinal or final or whatever. Oh, did it, Andrew? I'll have to have a look then. If it keeps happening, I'll have a look. Gary, I can't wait for the draw. I won't sleep next Thursday night thinking of who we will play. It's going to be class in it. It's going to make work go much quicker. Well, maybe slower, actually. But I just can't wait to finish work, get home, bang this live stream on, and then watch FIFA rabble on for 6 hours before they actually draw a fucking ball. My dream draw would probably be England, South Korea, Ivory Coast, and Haiti. I mean, in terms of an easy draw, do you think Tuchel should stay for your? No, I think we need to see what goes off at the next World Cup before anything is decided. Let me know if the audio is any better. I think it will drag, mate. I don't know why it's cutting off. Let me see if I've got... get rid of this template. I need to get myself a new PC, I think. I've ended up using... When I was getting bigger and bigger, I ended up trying to get bigger videos and stuff, and it's just... Yeah, I need a new PC. Ivory Coast is one of the hardest from pot 3. Yeah, I agree. Again, that top half, maybe not Panama, well, maybe it is Panama, but that from Ivory Coast up, hard. I think anything below that, South Africa, I'd take South Africa, I'd take Saudi Arabia, I'd take them all. I would take them all, apart from Norway. I'd take Norway if I had to, but I'd rather we didn't draw Norway, because I think they're a good team. I think they're a really, really good team, and I think they're better than almost all those other teams in pot 2, 3, and 4. Are Norway the best team outside of pot 1? Worth a discussion. I think Norway, Senegal, Croatia, those sorts of teams are all in with that sort of debate if you're going to have it. I think you've got to put Norway up there. I think the thing is Norway. We've seen, and I know people are going about Italy aren't that good, but look, they're still Italy. They were still finished second in the group, and I still think Italy would beat a lot of teams in these pots as well. Norway beat them 7-1 over 2 legs, so we've seen that actually Norway do have something about them. Yes, on paper they have a number of quality players, but a few average ones. What is our genuine group of death, Gary? I think our genuine group of death is, if I was going to pick a group of death now, it would be Senegal, Norway, and maybe Ghana or something like that. Something like that. Because I think a team like Ghana, again, there's a lot of probably Premier League experience in there, then a different type of football for us. I think that would be a group of death for us. Give England an easy draw and they will lose 3 of them. Bloody hope not, mate. Pick trying to calm Gahey down. Red card. No, bloody hell. Don't start talking about red cards. Again, I'm going to say it now. Look, if England don't win the World Cup, which is the most likely thing to happen, as long as it's not a referee decision that gets thrown out or some absolutely outrageous cheating or something absolutely disgusting that happens, then I'll be happy. We beat them any day of the week. Tuchel's experimenting when we played Senegal. I hope so, mate. Good evening, England fans. I'd agree. Australia, Qatar, and Curacao. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Evening, SC Kingdom. Australia, Qatar can't be in the same group. Well, we won't have them then, will we? Could have one of them. Why can't Australia? Well, I suppose are they in from the same qualification? Oh no! You probably sat here with a pen and paper and got your FIFA's rulebook up. I bet there's only about. We could almost probably whittle down the group before it's even drawn. Anyway, there's becoming that many rules that they've almost drawn themselves, haven't they? Lioness is moving into Birmingham Stadium. Shane don't play in Wembley. Is that what they've said? I've not heard that, Ricky. Australia beating us would be as bad as losing to the USA. Oh, God. Look, I'd take anything. As long as we don't lose to the Yanks at any point at this tournament, I'll be absolutely happy. That can't happen. Look, I mean, England, I go back to the thing where no matter what we get, gone are the days where you think actually England are going to struggle to top that group or there's going to be a real tough group for us. I would expect England to win any group. Honestly, I'm not massively worried. I would expect England to beat any of those teams. Australia fans way too cocky. Oh, I mean, I've seen a lot of cocky fans, mate. And everyone goes on about English fans. Honestly, some of the outrageous comments I've had on my videos, like a team's beating the Cayman Islands 3-0, like, mate, we're going to batter you at the World Cup. I'm like, calm down. Did you see them last time, 3 and partying like they won the World Cup? I'd like an Iran-Wales group again. Well, yeah, that could happen. Yeah, that could happen. You know, I'd never even heard of Tim Tam, Ricky, until the other day, and I was watching a video about some guy camping, and he had some Tim Tams, and he sucked. He sucked. This is going way off topic, but he used a Tim Tam to suck his coffee or tea up through, like as a straw. And I saw them. I saw Tim Tam. I never noticed them before. I saw Tim Tam in my local farm foods, bought them, did exactly the same thing, and they are legit. I just thought they were a penguin. I genuinely thought they were like a penguin bar. They are proper bang on. Use as a straw as well, and then eat it. Honestly, it is bliss. Honestly. England will do well, Gary. I'm 100% certain we'll get far. Charlie, mate. Honestly. I mean, the thing is that England could end up with a really good group. I remember taking them before our friendly. They need a good hiding. There's a few teams there I would like us to get an absolutely hammer. I remember when we drew Iran, and I had a couple of people. Now, there was another YouTuber actually I linked out with, and genuinely they were they the result against us. I mean, a win, but they thought they could nick a draw or something like that. We absolutely steamrolled them. England versus Colombia would be hard, but a great occasion for a late kickoff at MetLife. I'd hate Colombia. Can you remember how filthy they were when we last played them? I'd hate to draw Colombia. They are a penguin knockoff, mate. Do you think penguins are better? To be fair, I hadn't had a penguin in a while. Am I, Andrew? I might leave it there then if I keep cutting off, and I'll try and figure out my internet for next week. Who will we know who we can play in the first knockout round after the draw? Yeah, it'll all be sorted, mate. It'll all be everything sorted. I think it'll be determined where we're playing and everything. It'll all be sorted. Charlie. You'll be able to figure it out. Well, you won't be able to audio war chart quite yet because there's all those playoff games in March. Tam Tam's over, it's Tim Tams, but I get your point. Right, it sounds like I'm having audio problems, even though it seems like it's coming in and out. I will see if I can fix that, guys. Thank you all so much for this evening. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Big shout out to Arthur for the super chat earlier, and my channel members, and everyone else who's been on. Another 100 people on tonight. Overall, which is great. Honestly, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loving it. Shane Warne was a teaming version of Archer. We could do with some Ashes success, couldn't we, between now and then? Thank you all so much for watching, guys. I promise I'll see if I can get to the bottom of this audio issue. But yeah, hope you've all enjoyed this. Sorry again, it is on not on a Sunday, but I should be back on Sunday this week. Yeah, I'll do a bonus live stream this week as well due to the super chat. So thank you all so much. Hope you all have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you all on my next video. I will be dropping another video before the World Cup draw. And remember, for those channel members, keep an eye out on the community posts because I will be updating you on when the end of year quiz will be going live. Thank you all so much. See you later.